Welcome to STMU SCT Spotlight, where we explore the stories and people shaping the future of science, technology, and education. I'm your host, Dr. Paul Uhlig, Chair and Professor of Mathematics. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome two students from our biology department to share about their journey at St. Mary's and beyond as they embark on their next steps pursuing graduate school. With me today are Anakaren García and Kahlie Hernandez. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your backgrounds.
So my name is Anakaren García. I'm from El Paso, Texas. So still in Texas, but kind of far. I'm a biology major, senior biology major, and I'm going to grad school.
My name's Kahlie Hernandez. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I'm also a biology major, and I applied to grad school.
Well, welcome to both of you. So when you first started college, what did you think you wanted to be?
I think I came in wanting to be a nurse. I went to like a health profession in high school, and so I thought maybe I would be a doctor, but then I didn't want to be a doctor because that's too much responsibility on people's lives. And so I think I wanted to be a nurse.
I came into college thinking I was going to be a medical doctor as well. I also went to health professions magnet school, so that was all I was exposed to. And then I came to college and I started my first research internship, and I really liked it. So
That's fantastic. So what made you decide to pursue a Ph.D.?
Honestly, I had a lot of push from my professors. I didn't know that research was an option. And so when I kept getting told over and over and over to participate in research, I originally thought that I wouldn't like it. But then once I actually started doing research with Dr. Shackelford, it turns out that I really, really enjoy it. And I'd like to pursue that further.
same for me. I also got that push from my professors, and once I started, I loved it. And I didn't know what a scientist was before coming to college. I didn't know that was a thing or how realistic that was. So I learned it here.
So getting a Ph.D. is almost always to pursue research of some form or another. How did each of you get involved in research?
For me, a professor I had in general biology kind of told me, at least for your resume, get involved into research. So he kind of made me apply to my first program. I got in, and then I really loved it. So I kept going so my summer of my freshman year was my first internship.
So I did like a course-based research. I was in cell molecular methods taught by Dr. Shackelford, who I'm now doing research with. That was like my first eye-opening experience of what research was, and she and my other professors told me about the URISE program, which is like meant to help underrepresented students get involved with research. So I applied to that, and then I started doing research there. They helped me with my first summer research program, the summer of my sophomore year. So
Is it too early? Oh, I'm sorry.
it was summer 2024.
Do you think it's ever too early to start?
Too early?
To start on research?
No.
Yeah. So what about your classmates and future students that would be like, but it's scary, or I don't know if I want to start research. Do you have any thoughts about getting started?
Just try.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you don't have to do it.
Yeah, applying is the hardest step. Actually, starting your applications is the hardest step in my opinion. So I think just start it and then see if you like it. If you don't like it, it's okay.
Were you worried the first day you walked into the lab and actually were officially starting?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my first summer I was at UT Health, so I feel like I didn't have that one-on-one kind of mentorship starting off. So I was really scared I was gonna mess something up. But everyone so far in my career has been really nice and approachable. So
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of went in the first day thinking like, oh, I definitely don't belong here. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if I can do this. But I did a summer research program at UT Health San Antonio, and I came in with like a cohort of people. So getting to talk to other students was really valuable because it turns out nobody really knew what was going on. It was also the first day, but
I think that's a keen insight. But you mentioned the application process might be the hardest thing to start. So how did you begin? What got you moving on the application?
Well, for me, the first time I ever applied, I had my professor that kind of pushed me and like he made me open the application in front of him. But since then, I got really involved in Ready Set Research, the research club on campus. So I kind of had other people to kind of direct in the same direction. So I had to do it for them too. And I'm an older sister too, so I've been doing that for my brothers since way before.
Wonderful.
What was the question?
So what was it like to start the application
Oh,
process, and how did you get over that hump?
I think the first thing that I did was just open the application and put in like my name and my address, like all that basic information that you know and don't really have to think about. And then I made folders for all the schools that I was applying to, and at least open Word documents that were titled with whatever it was, like personal statement. Um, and then after that, it was just a matter of completing them.
Which part of it seemed most overwhelming, and how did you leverage into that?
Honestly, I think that the most overwhelming part for me was the part where you don't really have to think about it and it's putting everyone's, like every recommender's name, every phone number, your address multiple times over and over and over. But it's just something that you have to get done.
I think when the application asks you to list faculty members and they only give you like 5 spots to choose from, but the school has hundreds of faculty and like, I don't know, maybe 20 faculty that you're interested in, it was really hard for me to like rank them 1 through 5. And I don't know. It was like, I wish I could put everybody down.
Yeah, and Anakaren, you mentioned that that getting all of the information into each of the applications was could be challenging. Did you consider applying to a wide range of programs, and how did you approach the decision?
Yeah, so I was really scared to apply to graduate school because of like funding and all of that stuff. So my professor kind of told us to apply to 15 schools, which is a lot. So I kind of chose based off of either professors that I saw that I really liked their research, or for example, I'm really into toxicology. So if they had a toxicology program, I applied to that school. If they had a very like niche immunology program, I applied to that school, and that's how I got my 15.
Well, Kahlie, you mentioned prioritizing was a bit of the challenge. Did you focus more on specific types of programs or on the targeted lists?
Yeah, so my interest is like cancer immunology. So the intersection between cancer and immunology was something that I was interested in, and I would have liked to get a PhD in cancer immunology specifically, but a lot of schools don't offer that. So I looked a lot at umbrella programs so I could get a more like well-rounded education in that sense and cover everything that I wanted to cover. Um, yep.
So, just to put some magnitude on this, how many programs did you apply to total? And then what was the process like for actually picking the final program?
Well, I applied to 13. I don't have much more to say to that.
Yeah,
Anakaren?
I applied to 15, and yeah, it was just, I feel like by the time you hit like 8, it's mostly just like you're just trying to get more and more options.
So how did you stay on track, keeping track of each of you 13 applications?
Oh my gosh, Excel. I have
Excel? Yes.
I love Excel. I have in my Excel sheet was basically listing grad schools and the programs, and then listing faculty members once I found them, and then the due date, and I linked the folder to all the Word documents that I had, and then I had a little note section to break up what I needed to do, so like personal statement, research statement, listing recommenders, and that made it way easier.
For me, we had a lot of accountability within each other and Dr. Contreras because she kind of leads our like cohort. but I made sure that for every single application, I added all my recommenders. So I kind of had that like, oh, they already got a message sent to turn in a recommendation letter. I need to finish the application. And then every Friday we meet and we would talk about where we are in the application process. So that was really helpful as well.
I think that's great. So, what advice would you give someone who is just now starting the process?
I would say start your applications, at least start them, and also have like an accountability partner to help you keep going, and also just to motivate you. Like we're all doing it together. We're all stressed out about finishing homework, but also finishing our application. So
Yeah. I forgot to mention that Dr. Contreras really helped to at least push me, and I'm pretty sure push all of us to submit our applications on time by saying like, okay, just set aside 2 days and you're going to submit 2 applications that week, and you'll submit 2 applications until the due date. That way you'll get all of them done on time. And at first I was like, I don't know if I could do that. But it worked out, and that was probably the best advice that I have. Just like schedule it in your calendar, make it part of your day so that you can't really push it out and be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the next day, next week.
It seems momentous. It's almost like the delta x that you add up again and again in an integral in calculus. Okay, we know that's going to get edited out. So, in terms of understanding programs, we hear the term umbrella program a lot. Can one of you explain what that means and how it influenced your choices?
Well, I applied to a lot of umbrella programs. Umbrella programs are basically they're like an interdisciplinary program. So instead of declaring a Ph.D. track immediately, like a Ph.D. in biology or forensic science, you go in basically undefined, and you get to, in a lot of programs, you get to pick what courses you want to take after you take your core course. So you can kind of design your education in what you want to learn, if that makes sense. And I already mentioned why I picked those. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, is there an interview process for any of the programs that you applied for? And what is that process like?
Oh gosh.
honestly, every single school was different for us. There was not a single school that was the same. Some of them were online, some of them were 30 minutes one-on-one with someone. Some were 2 days long with 10 people on a Zoom meeting at a time and just you. Some people were in person for 3 days. Some of them were in person for 1 day. Like they're all over the place. But yeah, usually it's a Zoom interview, then an in-person, or maybe a Zoom with one person and then with a bigger group. So it's usually more than one.
Yeah, I agreed. They were all different for me. It was like I went in thinking I knew what to expect because I had already done an interview, and then it was completely different. Um, but all of them, well, actually, for all of mine, I didn't really have a group interview. So I didn't have to talk to 10 people at once. It was usually just one-on-ones with faculties and students and whatnot.
Could each of you name one or two things that you did preparing for those interviews that you thought that was effective? I'm really glad I did that, and I would recommend it for other people.
For sure, looking over your CV, your essay, and all of your application materials, because they actually read them and they'll quote things from your CVs and your personal statements. So it's just a little refresher, and on your research, because they'll also give you follow-up questions on stuff that you did and why you did that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I second that. Every school that I applied to had a different personal statement prompt. So I had to reread my personal statements to make sure like I knew what I put in there because they would ask me about them most likely, and they did. And then I talked to myself a lot. Like whatever I was doing, driving to school, I was pretending like I was answering a question so that I could get down all my talking points, because I didn't want it to sound robotic, but also I wanted to make sure that I put my best self out there to them.
That's amazing. And not sounding robotic, did either of you use AI to practice interviews or interview questions?
Yeah, I did, especially with my just like trying to predict what questions were going to be asked based off of my research, just because I only know so much on my project, but there's so much more going on in the lab that I don't personally work on. So I wanted to make sure I was staying on top of that.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I used AI to give me practice interview questions, in general, and then also more specific about my research because I felt like I could have, or I should know more about the work my whole lab is doing instead of just only my part of the project. Because sometimes they'll ask you, or they did ask me questions that were a little bit deeper than the work that I do myself.
What surprised you the most about the application process?
Honestly, I went in person to one of my interviews, and everyone had so much experience, like way more than I did. And here in St. Mary's, I feel like I felt ahead because I started my freshman year, or the summer after my freshman year, but everyone was so smart. So it caught me off guard that I felt so behind. So, yeah, that was one thing, but
Yeah, I agree. I met a lot of master's students
Yeah.
in my in-person interview, and or lab techs who had been working in the lab for like 2 years, and I felt really underprepared. And like, this person's gonna get an acceptance, and I'm not because research experience. And it's really hard to not compare yourself to them. Don't do that.
yeah.
Well, that really is the next question. So, what advice would you give for your classmates, friends, and future students coming through the process for interviewing well?
Be natural, be yourself. They're not only making sure that you know your stuff, they're also making sure that you're not weird. So be yourself. If you don't know an answer to their question, don't try to fake it. Just, you don't know, and it's okay to not know something. Yeah.
Was there any challenges to the waiting? Have you heard back from any of these programs, and is waiting at all a challenge?
Yeah, waiting was so hard, especially in February when you could see online. We found like a Reddit page that people could post with their acceptances.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard seeing everyone get accepted, and then we were just waiting. But I thankfully got 2 acceptances already.
Yay!
Yes, I'm really excited about it.
That's great.
So I'm just trying to figure that out now. But
Yeah. That Reddit spreadsheet, I don't know. It was like good, but also people were getting acceptances from schools that I had been ghosted from, basically. So it was kind of hard to be like, you're still in the running when other people have received their decisions. And I got waitlisted from 2 programs, so but I'm still in the running.
Well, it's early in the process, so
Exactly.
so they may have accepted folks who are going to get offers from somewhere else, and those wait lists exist for a reason, and it's actually not bad news.
Right.
Yeah. So you both look like you're in great spirits, and this kind of process can be really stressful. So how have you stayed positive?
We love our Friday class. It's just 4 of us in the class and Dr. Contreras, so it's really just us talking to each other and trying to lift each other up no matter what. So,
Yeah. Honestly, having a space to share, like, oh, I did really bad on this interview. Let me tell you what happened. I think that's really helped de-stress me. Because we're all going through like the same thing. We all have similar experiences where we can be like, it's gonna be okay. Like, it's okay. We got this. Yeah.
So one thing when I was applying for graduate school, and I came from St. Mary's as well, and St. Mary's is a small university. Did that ever make you question how you'd compare to the larger schools?
yes. Especially after that one in-person interview that I had, everyone was just on a different level. It was insane. Um, You can feel it even in San Antonio. Like if you go to UT Health or anything, people that come from UTSA have a lot more options and more labs that they can choose from. Thankfully, I feel like I had a good relationship with Dr. Contreras and Dr. Goaladin, my first professor that introduced me to research. So I got to pick projects that I liked in their labs, and I got really good access to what I wanted to do. But I know other people didn't have that same experience.
Yeah, I think it's hard hearing about these people who went to like Harvard or R1 research institutions mainly, who have like tons of funding and they have in vivo models. And not that our research is any less, but it's hard to not compare yourself. It's hard to say like I'm still just as good as them. Even though my research seems a little smaller in my eyes compared to theirs. It's still just as impactful.
How did you learn to tell your story and present your strengths?
I feel like each interview I've tried to take it as a conversation, and I like to prepare before the interview, obviously like days before. But the hour before the interview, I kind of stopped looking at notes. I stopped looking at essays. I just try to calm down, and whatever is supposed to happen is going to happen. I'm going to try my hardest, but whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen. So.
Oh yeah, 100% believe that. Whatever is meant for us will come.
Sorry.
What was the question?
So, what would you say to a student who wants to pursue a Ph.D. but doesn't know where to start?
You should come to Ready Set Research.
Start with Dr. Contreras.
I was going to say, go to Dr. Contreras.
Dr. Contreras is the best.
Yeah.
She's so nice and welcoming, and she has so many connections. And
she
find
truly cares.
Yeah,
she truly cares about helping us.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for joining me today, Kahlie and Anakaren. On behalf of SCT Spotlight, thank you to our guests. We invite everyone to join us again for the next episode as we continue highlighting the people advancing science, engineering, and technology at St. Mary's University. Until then, elevate your excellence and shape excellent tomorrows.
Wow, that was kind of cute.